eliminations right now. A nice surprise RPG to possibly drop down the player up above, but a cone, a pyramid, will be able to just keep him up there for the time being. Look at the mini-map. Look at the overall layout of the land right now. So many people just held up trying to reserve as many materials as possible. But this zone will not be friendly. It'll be a bunch of water, a lot of hills. These guys will have to move fast. Luki, though, might not be able to move at all. Has to get through this instance first. And oh my god, on the top of his head, a player dances. Lowless will now be left lifeless as Luki finds him not landing shots. Him himself, though, responds with 2 attacks straight to the head. And now Mongrel hears all of this happen above him. Luki chooses what he needs to get to move on. Stompy spectates as well as he reloads his RPG. This instance is not over yet, Monster.
The question is, why haven't they moved? Why are they still sitting here? Are they waiting for a launch pad, or do they have one, to say the least? Because when fights are happening, these are the perfect times to rotate. So I am interested to see the decision making as we're kind of sitting right here on this side. Specky's out of here. He's hitting the road, and as does Mongrel now as well. The timing seems just right. He hears Specky take off, and he wants to trail behind. Stompy's doing the same now. This is very, very good plays by all of them, choosing to rotate at the same time. Good timing, and Luki gets to walk away without needing to engage on any of these Titans here. What you're looking at right now is Stompy get tagged up a few times here, Shayo. It's Nespit, Froxy. Mongrel's still on top of him.
It's the barrier. Although Mongrel is on top of him, just look at the entire lobby, making it a big wall, basically across on a lot of fronts, both high, mid-ground, and low. Luki will find Bailey, who was trying to rotate as well. Stompy, who was getting pressured before, gets to get some release, but it'll be Luki now with a very destructive loadout, giving up the rocket launcher to get a drum gun, and at the same time have that long-range beam still available with the burst.
What a nice find, because he also picks up that prestigious launch pad, which is going to play so well into the half-in, half-out zone, especially if it doesn't pull his way here. A lot of water dividing the landmass here now. The field is split in two factions, the left and right sides. There's no space for an allegiance in the middle, not in a solo game, not at all, because everyone is an enemy here. Let's see, though. You see Boyer is in this lobby as well. This is a very, very exciting lobby to be looking at right now. Let's see what Kezix is going to be doing here. He's got 5 floppers. He's going to cut all the way across here, Shia. It's going to Lazy Lake.
Yeah, this is going to be the travel along no man's land. It'll be Kezix who moves in first at the same time, even though it's such a clean rotation, especially right towards an airdrop. He'll get beamed down. We'll have the hard mats and be early enough to not get super focused by the entire lobby, but then pushed, I believe, into someone else's box close by the side. He does have a chance to refresh his launch pad and get possibly another power item, but it'll cost him a lot of materials on this defense. He has to act quick here. You have to choose to either heal or take the package. The third elusive option, though. Get the big beam and a huge reward. It's Sky's loot that was in that box. Another player on the door for the package, but now Kezix has a free way to rotate in. Not sure what that player was doing, but Kezix has one of the best loadouts in the entire game all of a sudden. And another gold
That is true. I was going to say, it's another good weapon falls from that as well. It's the gold tactical. He doesn't even want it. He's comfortable with the pump. My gosh, talk about a huge come up here. Kezix may have took what would be the biggest gamble in the lobby, and it does pay off. He's rewarded with the best solo loot possible, all for the drop. Here's Mongrel. He's looking back at the zone right now. There's someone in the storm. He finished 77th on his first day overall. It's not too bad. He did have a victory, so he's somewhat middling in the competition right now. If he can just continue to kind of play A-OK, he will be qualifying for any of you Mongrel fans out there. He's looking pretty good right now. As the information was coming in. That's a good RPG right there. Now he's looking for the shotgun follow-up. He only has a tactical, though, so it's not going to be very effective at longer ranges. Nonetheless, that RPG does so much damage. 130 if you get connected with it. And he gets zoned. He gets favored here on the 6th zone right now.
And while he's doing all of this, finding this loot, getting a gold AR, which we saw him in every single mode operate with at maximum efficiency. Now it'll be the operating weapon to complement the rocket launcher, and he's trying to find the shot, and it'll be Snuffs that actually or Snuffles that goes down to Jason. Mongrel doesn't get to have the same that elimination or the points at all. Camo has been picking up points all the way around on the other side of the map as well. Boyer's right below Mongrel. They've been side by side in a lot of these big bases time and time again. Looking for another launch pad to possibly get on top with Item also in this game as it starts to finally move up and get hot and heavy. It'll be Mongrel moving on. Has the tarp available, the trap set up, the build's controlled, but doesn't find anything around him. Instead ahead, blocking people off, moving past, controlling where they go, and Jason picks up another one off of him as Crack gets a big pickup. Belvede goes down, and now Mongrel has to catch up with the rest of the server. It's absolute chaos. People in the air, on the ground, and on their builds too. What will he do next?
He's running low on material now, though. 150 material to his name. That's 15 builds. Just a few tarps ahead. He needs a frag or he needs to jump off this layer, and he falls down to his death. When I said jump off the layer, I didn't mean like that, but unfortunately Mongrel is going to fall now. Still, before getting rewarded for the big placement points, as he kind of left this lobby prematurely, Shayo. That was tough.
Tough indeed, but we're going to be tuning in with other people who didn't make the same mistakes. We'll be back to see more as Kezix wants some more. A huge loadout here, but he didn't start off with it. Let's see how he adapts of using that grappler. Has the Mythic AR. This is just basic fundamentals of having positions in Fortnite and pinpointing exactly who is where on the zone, where they're going to go next, and then getting what you need to get after the fact. Has a lot of floppers, but at what cost will this loadout take damage? I know you can have those floppers to use immediately. You need refreshes, but if you get beamed that hard, it's going to be very hard to bounce back. This is where the grappler must be used. Sees one more person left up in the storm, has the combination and gets it down. It'll be Vibes who gets claimed. Another refresh and more floppers into the inventory. Now that mythic item starts to get active. All the way for height he goes, and the player sees him coming, so it'll be an absolute fight possibly if he wants to control that high ground. No, stays mid. Kezix still lives on and is very healthy on materials.
He picked up so much material from the zone, like Shayo just said right there. This is enough for him to take height right now. Typically, this late in the game, height doesn't have a lot. It's very unlikely that he does with the grappler, with the max mats. I mean, he's got a lot of opportunity here. He feels like it's too much of a risk. He's going to jump down and play into the low ground kind of tarps now. He's still not giving up height, not for sure, not for free here. Up he goes, and it's his now. Can Kezix hold it out, though, as he has the grappler? There's no way he can lose it now unless he makes a vital error or an RPG does kind of ruin his chances here. But he's looking really good right now, Shayo.
Yeah, he has the bait and switch mentality of baiting people out, knowing how they play, getting height over them. But does he have the power? Obviously in the loadout to end the game, but the play style needs to land every single shot, make the right decision on who he targets here from height. It'll be mid that he focuses first, pushing them down into fights low ground, but every single elimination he misses, yes, is a placement point, but 4 elimination points he doesn't see. There's one quick beam though, all the way to low now, box to box with item. He looks for a little bit more pressure. 500 wood still available, but acting like he has none to force out a build fight. And now claims up top on the item, drops him down with his own builds. Pressure still there from the AR. Kezix still in the mind of his opponents and has the loadout to answer any questions they pose as threats. And he gets another quick pickup, making it a 1v1. He's trying to find a way to finally let things go. 7 eliminations, finding his 8th. A lot of minis available. That big shock and eluded not to get the tack. Is this the reason why? Does he have the accuracy, the power to end the game? Finally popping up the heels, waits patiently. The edits are there. And Kezix, from start to finish, dominant and staying in the shadows and striking when he sees fit. He'll have another win on the European region.
Love to play. So smart. Debate on the no wood material. What a good little read right there. That was really well played. That was really well played.
And there we go, guys. We see the mythic weapons back in play, being the cause of another victory royale. I mean, what do you think? What for you guys was that defining factor, and what made Kezix get, like, what was the turning point for Kezix, right, to win the victory royale there, Monster?
He gambled. He played the biggest risk ever, was going for the launch pad, the actual drop, to trade a launch pad for a launch pad and loot, knowing that the server would focus in, and what he gained from that was multiple eliminations and a grappler.
I mean, when I look at the standings too, the one thing I see from all these players, Wind, Nyrox, who actually, although he's at 50 points now, was in trouble yesterday in trying to qualify 464th place overall afterwards. It's the basketball reference court vision. They see things as they develop and know what to pinpoint. We saw it last game from Kha'Zix going for both a airdrop and after that getting the loot he needs, knowing what it can do, where to go after that, playing in the storm with floppers. Right now though, it'll be the balance of elims and placement that's letting players off of their first games stay and have a say at the top spots of the leaderboard. As we go for the second page, a lot of these players who were in trouble, Marcus C as well, who was, you know, also not in the range to be in top 300, is 12th right now, 41 points, 6 eliminations. Jason, we saw last game, have a very good strategy of letting people pressure first and then finish off eliminations, a lot of them from Mongrel's pressure with that gold AR. So a lot of these top names are finally rising up, fixing the mistakes from yesterday, Zeke, and performing right now.
That's right. We'll flip on over to the third page there. Letwick, familiar